Aloha and welcome to VOSR International, the voice of shortwave radio. I'm your host, Wavecrest Guy. This broadcast is being transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, in Okeechobee, Florida, on both 9455 and 15770 kilohertz. This broadcast is also being transmitted by shortwave radio in Lower Saxony, Germany, on 3975 kilohertz.
All right, so we are going to start out this broadcast with some announcements as usual. And first off, I just want to note that I am recording this from Waikiki on Oahu. My wife as I mentioned before, came over for her hip replacement surgery on Friday, the 25th, I believe, of July. And my days are a little bit screwed up here. So she had the surgery, came back to the hotel and was fine. And then in the morning when she got up, she was showing signs of a slight stroke. So she was actually taken back to the taken to the emergency room and checked out. And she is doing well. She is right now. She got transferred over to the rehab hospital. She got discharged from the regular hospital, and so she is going to be doing some rehab, which is really going to help because she, for a few days, you're supposed to move around after the hip replacement. And she wasn't able to do that, so she fell behind a little bit in that rehab. As far as the stroke goes, she had a slight droop to her face a little bit on her right side. That has pretty much went away. She still has it a little bit, and she had trouble remembering a couple words, but she is doing much better, and she is definitely recovering. Unfortunately, though, we are going to have to be staying here on Oahu much longer than we thought. We're probably going to be here 2 to 3 weeks, so we might be having some rebroadcasts going out over our slots here. I was able to finish this one up because I did bring my laptop and a mic because I knew I had just 1 or 2 segments to do to finish up a new broadcast, so that worked out good. Plus, I had to make the transfers over to the radio station, so I was able to do a little bit, and I was able to complete this broadcast and get it out. We'll see how things go in the future, and just be prepared. You might hear a couple rebroadcasts. So with that, and then also, I want to announce first off for this broadcast. We have a special segment from listeners in Germany, and they are a part of the RTI listeners group, and it is going to be in German. And so if I know I talked about it before, but if you can go to your phones and download or your laptop, download the 3PO app. It's the number 3 and then P and then O. 3PO. That is a translator that I use all the time, and it works really good. It'll be a good opportunity for you to use that. The segment is going to be later on in the broadcast, so you can work on trying to get that app or any translator app that you currently use. And then you'll be able to understand their message in German. I also am going to have, and it's on there already on our website at VOSRinternational.com. You can head over there. I do have the transcript over there, so you can read the transcript and follow along with that segment. Again, that'll be a little bit farther in the broadcast, so you got some time to either head over to the website. You can go over to our Facebook page also. I will have it on our Facebook page at VOSR International. So go over there and check those out. You could have that ready for when that part of the broadcast is coming on. I do want to thank Bernd for putting that together. Also, don't forget about our website. Head over there, check out our listeners map. We have pins on all the listeners that send in reception reports and comments. If they give you their location, I put a pin on the map so you can go check that out. We also have a listeners radios page where listeners send in their rigs and their setups and their equipment, and I have pictures of those set up also. So get those sent in, and we will get the website updated. Also, with responses to emails, because I'm over here, I'm going to be late. I'm usually right on top of those. You usually get a response within a day. I am falling up behind a little bit on that, so bear with me. I will get caught up, and we will get the EQSL cards and QSL cards mailed out to everyone. But just give me a little bit of time. So don't forget, any comments about the show, send them into VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. Also, don't forget about, we do have a radio giveaway and a coffee mug giveaway going on. I forgot to mention that during the last broadcast. You will have until August 26th is the last day to send in an email to enter that drawing. So September 26th, you got quite a ways yet. Go ahead and send those emails in the subject line. Just put down giveaway, one email per person, and you will be put in for the drawings. Also, don't forget to check out us on Facebook at VOSR International. You can join the group, and then you can start posting as soon as you join. I will. That's a great way to communicate with us, as in email. Either way, but you can post on there, and I will read those posts as communications during the mailbag segment. Also, don't forget about our subgroup on Reddit. If you are on Reddit, go over to Grundig Shortwave Radio. You don't have to have a Grundig radio, but you can join us over there. And the same thing, you can, as soon as you join, you can start posting. You can post reception reports. You'll see a lot of information over there. So go ahead and check out that group also. All right, now on with the show. So our first segment here is going to be a guest segment, and it's going to be from Trevor, and he is returning to do a beginner segment for our shortwave radio listening and equipment, and he is really taken the time and done excellent segments here for beginners into our hobby of shortwave radio listening. So take it away, Trevor.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another shortwave radio segment here on Wavecrest Guys Show. I'm glad you could join me. This is Trevor here with another shortwave radio introduction segment. In our last episode, we talked about getting started in shortwave listening. We covered choosing a receiver, finding a good place to listen, and taking your first steps into the hobby. Today, I'd like to answer one of the most common questions that new listeners ask. Why can't I hear the same station every day? If you've spent any time listening to shortwave, you've probably noticed something unusual. Maybe one evening you heard a station loud and clear from thousands of miles away. The next night, you tuned to the exact same frequency at the same time, and nothing. Did the station stop broadcasting? Probably not. More than likely, the radio waves simply took a different path. This is one of the things that makes shortwave so unique. Unlike AM and FM radio, shortwave depends on the Earth's atmosphere to carry signals over long distances. More specifically, it depends on a region called the ionosphere. Now, don't worry, we're not going to turn this into a science class. Think of the ionosphere as a giant, invisible helper high above the Earth. When conditions are just right, shortwave signals are bent back toward the ground instead of disappearing into space. The signal may bounce from the Earth to the ionosphere and back several times before finally reaching your radio. That's how someone sitting at home in North America might hear a station broadcasting from Europe, Asia, or Australia. Pretty amazing, isn't it? But here's the catch. The ionosphere is constantly changing. It's affected by sunlight. It's affected by the seasons. It's affected by activity on the sun itself. And because of that, shortwave conditions are always changing. Let's start with the simplest difference, day and night. During the daytime, the sun energizes the ionosphere. Higher shortwave frequencies usually travel better during daylight hours. As evening arrives and darkness spreads across the Earth, the atmosphere changes. Lower frequencies often begin to open up, allowing stations that were impossible to hear during the afternoon to suddenly appear. That's why many DXers enjoy listening after sunset. The bands often come alive. If you're new to shortwave, here's something fun to try. Spend 15 or 20 minutes listening in the middle of the afternoon. Then come back after dark and tune the same frequencies. You'll probably discover an entirely different collection of stations, and it's almost like having two different radios. Another thing that affects reception is the time of year. Winter often brings excellent listening conditions in many parts of the world, especially during the evening. Summer can introduce more atmospheric noise from thunderstorms, making weak stations harder to hear. Don't let that discourage you. Every season has something interesting to offer. Then there's the sun. You may have heard people talk about sunspots or the solar cycle. Without getting too technical, the sun goes through an approximately 11-year cycle of increasing and decreasing activity. When solar activity is higher, certain shortwave frequencies can travel much further than usual. Sometimes stations on the opposite side of the world become surprisingly easy to hear. Other times, those same frequencies may seem almost empty. It's all part of the adventure. Another thing you'll notice is something called fading. Imagine you're listening to a station. The signal sounds strong, then, over the next few seconds, it becomes weaker, almost disappears, and then comes back again. That's perfectly normal. The signal is taking multiple paths through the atmosphere, and those paths are constantly changing. Every experienced shortwave listener has heard this happen. In fact, sometimes a station that seems impossible to understand suddenly becomes crystal clear for just a few moments. Those moments can be exciting because that's often when you'll hear the station identify itself. One lesson I've learned is not to give up too quickly. If you hear a weak station, stay with it for a while. Conditions can improve in just a minute or two. Some of my favorite listening experiences have happened because I decided to wait instead of changing frequencies. Patience really is one of the most valuable skills in this hobby. Another tip is to listen often. You don't need to spend hours every day. Even 10 or 15 minutes in the morning or evening can teach you something. Over time, you'll begin to recognize patterns. You'll start remembering which frequencies are active at certain times. You'll notice which stations are regular visitors to your radio. Before long, you'll develop an instinct for where to tune. And that's when the hobby becomes even more enjoyable. Every experienced DXer has had evenings when the band seemed completely empty. We've also had nights when station after station appeared from around the world. That's simply the nature of shortwave. No two listening sessions are exactly alike. For me, that's one of the biggest reasons I continue listening. If radio behaved exactly the same way every day, it wouldn't be nearly as exciting. Instead, every time I turn on the receiver, there's a sense of anticipation. What will I hear tonight? Will I catch a familiar station? Or maybe discover one I've never heard before? That feeling of discovery has been there ever since I started listening in 2025, and it still hasn't gone away. So, the next time you turn on your radio and the bands don't sound the way they did yesterday, remember this. Nothing is wrong with your radio. The atmosphere is simply doing what it has always done. Wait a little while, try another band, come back after sunset, experiment. You may be surprised by what you find. Thank you for joining me once again here on Wave Crest Guy Show. In our next segment, we'll explore one of the most exciting parts of the hobby, learning how to identify the stations you hear and how DXers know exactly what they're listening to. Until next time, happy listening and 7-3.
Thank you so much for that segment, Trevor. Thanks for taking the time and being a recurring guest on VOSR International. We really appreciate it. There's really a lot of great information in your segments, especially for the beginners and things they could look for and things they should know about when they're starting into the hobby. So send us some emails. Send us to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com, or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. All right, so this first segment is going to be a radio segment, and it is going to be basically me going through an unboxing of the Light Mala DSP M-Lite 880 SDR shortwave radio. So I made a video on this, and I actually recorded my audio when I was doing the unboxing for this one. So this one is a little bit of a different way that I got this segment completed. But the video for this is going to be available the day that this broadcast goes out. So I do go over all the features. I go over what everything looks like and how big it is here during the segment. But if you want to go ahead and check out the video, which will actually show the radio, you can head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com. I will have a link to the video. I'll have some pictures and some other links about the video. And then when I do future videos, I will have those links on that same page so you can check it out. So here is the segment on the M-Lite 880 SDR. Aloha, and welcome to my radio desk here on Molokai, Hawaii. I haven't had a lot of time to be doing some videos on radios lately. I've been concentrating on keeping up on my shortwave radio broadcast, VOSR International. And a little bit ago, Amazon Prime was having their Prime Day, and I came across a couple posts that said that the M-Lite 880 was going to be a part of that special. So I went ahead and I took a look, and it was on there. It was usually going for $299, and it was marked down on Prime Day to $239. And I am a Prime member, so I get free shipping, which is kind of important when you're living in Hawaii. But I also saw another post, and I took a look around and checked out other areas, and I was able to find it on eBay from the vendor, and it was $200 even with shipping and tax and everything. So it was actually a pretty good deal. So I've been I don't own an SDR radio, the software-defined radios. I don't have any of them. I've never had one. I've been, of course, looking at a lot of them, and I know a lot of listeners to VOSR International have written in, and they are listening on SDR radios. So I always knew I wanted to try one, and if you look around on the internet, you're going to find a lot of good information on this radio, and a lot of good reviews, a lot of good statements and comments. So I thought I would give this one a try. I've got a couple other radios that I need to make some more videos on that I haven't been able to. I've been just trying to stay ahead, like I said, with my broadcast of VOSR International. And we are actually going to be going to Oahu next week. My wife is having hip replacement surgery, and so obviously I'm going to be busy all next week, and of course she's going to be going through some rehabbing and things, so I'm going to be kind of busy. So, but I did want to get this unboxing video out, and I wanted to be able to put this on the air on VOSR International, so the listeners can get an idea about this radio and see what it's all about. So I'm going to, it came in, it was actually supposed to, I ordered it, I think it was the first week of July, and it was supposed to not come in until the end of July. And it ended up coming in within a couple of weeks from China. So it actually came in pretty quick. So I was pretty happy with that. So definitely, look around if you're going to purchase one of these. You never know. And I've heard that you can go to their website and they have them for $195 there. Of course, there's probably going to be some tax, and I don't know about if that was free shipping or not, but that's definitely worth checking out also. So we're going to go ahead and get into opening this up. I'll go over some of the features, kind of describe it, and we'll be able to take a look at it here. So for all my VOSR International listeners, you're going to be able to go over to our webpage at VOSRinternational.com. I'm going to have a page set up for this radio. I will link future videos to it also, so you can go check it out. So you'll be able to see the unboxing and be able to see a little bit more about this radio after, of course, it airs on shortwave. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and flip open the box quickly here. I'm kind of doing this one-handed, and I don't have a lot of room on my radio desk here, so let's see if I can get it going here. So there it is. That's how it comes. It comes packaged pretty good. It's got a good amount of foam around the radio itself. And I'm going to take it out. You'll get a good idea of how big the radio is. I'm going to set this down for a second. So there's the radio. And there we go. I can take it out of the bag. And it's got a little plastic covering on the screen. Now this does have a screen, one of the waterfall screens that you see on SDR radios that you run on your computer. And it is definitely bigger than the, here. Let me grab this. Grab the C crane, and it's definitely about twice as big. If you take a look, it is about twice as big as the C crane Skywave SSB2 that I have. So it's definitely quite a bit bigger than that. The keypad, the buttons are pretty basic on this. There's a numeral pad. And then to the right of that, so there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a 0, and then an asterisk and a pound key there. And then to the right of that, there's A, B, C, and D going down the side of the radio, and that's all there is on the front of the radio. So we'll kind of go into the features of the radio also, and I'll go in a little bit with the instruction manual. But weight-wise, this is not going to fit in your shirt pocket again. This is quite a bit bigger. It's about as big as a small notepad. And it looks like it does have a fairly big antenna, which I will extend here in a bit. But is a little bit bigger, does have a little heft to it, and the speaker is probably at least twice as big as the speaker on the C crane Skywave 2 SSB2. So just looking on the back side, then there is one of the flip tab tilt features for the radio, which puts it at a nice angle for viewing, so you can see the screen when you've got it on a desk or a desktop. This definitely is a little bit bigger, and I think might make for a halfway decent desktop model for someone. I'm actually surprised because if you look at the looking at the keypad, there is quite a bit more room on the keypad. They could have made it a little bit bigger. I'm sure some of these are going to be multifunction buttons. They probably could have even added a few more, but they could have gave more space between the buttons, and that would have made it a little bit easier for people like myself with fat fingers who can't get in there. Now, on the left side of the radio, there is just one jack, and it is a jack for the antenna. That's the only thing on the left side of the radio. On the bottom of the radio, there's nothing. There's a couple little tabs for feet, so it could stand up. On the right side, you're going to notice a headphone jack, and then there is the jack to recharge the battery. It does have a rechargeable battery that comes with it. Again, the only other thing on the back of the radio is the door for the battery, and then the flip tab. On the top of the radio, there is a couple things there. There's the on and off switch, and then it does have a slot for an SD card. The one nice feature about this, from what I read, is that you can go ahead and record right off the radio onto the SD card. So that definitely is a nice feature. Now for the antenna going up, just trying to balance here. It is quite a bit higher than the C crane. It's probably about 2.5 feet, might even be 3. So it does go up fairly high for a telescopic antenna. So that could be a nice feature, and we'll see how it works. Again, I can get some Asian stations here. I can get New Zealand actually pretty good on with a telescopic antenna on 9700 kilohertz later on in the evening. It does work fairly well here. But if you put the little tilt pad up and tilt the radio and have the antenna extended, it doesn't go straight up. It goes slightly to the back, and that's because it hits the back of the radio, and it doesn't come forward anymore. So in general, it's pretty good. It is fairly straight, though, so that should work out fine. This radio, again, different than some of the other radios that I've reviewed before, because it is a little bit bigger, does not have a wrist strap, so it's really not meant to be that much of a portable compared to some of the other smaller radios that are on the market. So keep that in mind. This is a little bit more of an introductory desktop model for an SDR. So getting back to the what's included with the radio, in the box also you have a charging cord that comes with it, and it has actually got some pretty good length to it. A lot of times they get a little bit cheap and don't have very long charging cords with these. This one has a nice size charging cord, and then it also has a jack for the antenna. That comes in this little clear plastic case, so you can gives you different ways of hooking the antenna on. It is a 3.5 millimeter jack, like a headphone jack, that you're going to be able to use. I've pretty much converted all my antennas. I've got the MLA 30 Plus, I've got the K180 WLA, and I also have the K480 WLA, and I have them all with this jack, and you can see that's where some of these wires are on my table, on my radio desk here, and it makes it easy to do plug back and forth with the in different antennas, so you can check them out with different radios. So it works fairly good. And then also, I should move this down again, but it also comes with a nice instruction manual. And I'm going to kind of go over the instruction manual a little bit to give you an idea of the features with this radio. Now, one feature that I definitely do know about that a lot of people always talk about is the firmware and the firmware upgrades. They are constantly improving this radio because it is software defined, and they can change it without you changing the hardware. They can change it through the software and give you updates, and you can go ahead and update the firmware and then take advantage of all the upgrades that they made to it. So from what I heard, they've already made some upgrades to this, and everybody's been really happy with the upgrades that have been made. So one thing I did notice while I was moving the radio out of the way is when I put the antenna back down and I put it back behind the radio, it's got a little a slot that it stores in. It doesn't snap in there. It just kind of goes behind it. So I can see that after a while popping up, and it may catch on something. It doesn't have a firm snap where it goes into the radio or into the back of the radio. So keep that in mind. So just going over the instruction manual here. Now this goes over, you got your, it goes over all the features of the radio, and it tells you pretty much what I had gone over already about the jacks and the keypad. The battery that it comes with is 21,700 battery that is rechargeable, and you'll be able to go ahead and start using the radio right away. That is another good feature with this, that it does come with the radio, and it's ready to go. And then it's got the display functions. Now on your screen, there's going to be a lot of information on there, because it has that waterfall display, and the display is probably about 1 inch by 3 inches. I would guess, and there's going to be a lot of small indicators that show up on there. There's going to be an S meter that is in bars, and there's the audio jack will also show up if you have your headphones plugged in. If you have the SQL turned on, that'll show up there. Noise reduction. If you're in USB mode, LSB mode. So if you're in upper sideband, lower sideband. CW mode, DSB mode will show up. AM mode, SAN mode, SAN. The NFM mode, the WFM mode. It'll show your volume, of course, and your RDS, the time, and your battery indicator. Will also be on that screen, and it actually is big enough where I don't think you're going to have any problem, seeing this. So it is actually a really nice display, and then it actually shows your inputs, your volume, and your frequency, and that is the for the keyboard. Now for the A, B, C, and D, the A button is the audio output channel selection, and the B is the SQL enablement. The C button is the noise reduction enablement, and your D button is your return, is your enter button. Now the number pads also, again, some of these are multifunctional. So number 1 is your frequency step menu, so you have options there. And then button number 2 is modulation mode, so that is the menu will pop up. The device menu pops up with number 3. Pressing number 4 is the manual entry for frequency. So when you press that, then you can enter your frequency code in there, and you'll go right to that frequency. Button 5 displays the settings. Button 6 is audio settings. Button 7 is your recording menu. And then button 8 is your channel record. Button 9 is the screen off. The 0 button is your bands. The asterisk is the multi-function keys. And the pound is the pound sign is your enter key. So when you hit these buttons, of course, then you're going to get another screen up where you can go ahead and you can make selections. You can make selections for your for the keyboard button. You can select the increments of what it'll change every time you turn the dial to on your tuner. You can change it to 100 hertz, 500 hertz, 1 kilohertz, 2.5 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz, 6.2 kilohertz, all the way up to 10 kilohertz. Then, of course, the select mode for button 2, it changes between upper sideband, lower sideband, CW, AM, FM, WFM, NFM, SAM, and DSP. So all these changes you'll notice when you use the keypad, and it comes up as a menu. Then for your device menu, it'll go for radio settings. That'll be keyboard the button 3, and you press the key A and then B to change the interfaces. There's 2 pages there. So there's going to be quite a bit to this instructions. I mean, there's these multi-use keys, and that's one of the things I usually don't like too much about some portables. They have a lot of multi-use keys on there, and it is hard to remember. Now, a lot of these your features you're probably not going to be using all the time. It's not going to be that big of a deal, and the ones that you do use all the time are going to be recorded to your memory pretty quickly, and you won't have an issue with it. So the one thing that's really nice about this instruction manual is that when it goes through each of the keys and their function, it does have pictures right on there that shows you what's going to be on the screen, and it shows you what your choices are going to be. For your for the radio settings, you'll be able to check between WFM tuning mode, AM tuning mode, the date to time settings, Bluetooth mode, and then in instruction mode that you can find out about. For keyboard 3, you're going to have the antenna type for shortwave, whether it's 50 ohm, and then your bias T, it could be disabled. The attenuator for shortwave, you can have that disabled. WFM bandwidth auto, and you can change that setting. Your frequency correct, all that can be changed. So there's so many features and so many adjustments that can be made on this radio that is really going to help with listening. And that is going to be, to me, probably one of the biggest features of software-defined radio, of SDR. I know this is something that a lot of new listeners, they're used to the digital age, and they're not used to hearing any of the the static, the noise of regular radio. I know my wife always says that too. She always, I don't see how you can listen to some of those stations with all the static. It would drive her crazy. And I know that is probably a big thing for the newer generation, especially getting into radio like this, that they would have issues with that. And that's where the noise reduction of these software-defined radios is going to make a big difference. And I think that's why it's becoming popular with a lot of entry-level people. And the features and the other thing with these radios, I think, is what has been drawing some veteran shortwave listeners to also. And then also, it's going back to the features here. It's got the radio settings where you can choose WFM deep faces and WFM equalizer, WFM MP control. You can enable that. You can just enter your frequency, like I said before, with button 4. You can hit the button 4, and then you can put the frequency in there. If it is not a valid frequency, it'll come up and say it was an incorrect frequency. It really just keeps going with the features, and it really is going to help operate this radio. And I think this is a really good instruction manual. It's also got, because the display is a big part of this radio, it's got some visual settings for it. You can change the brightness level, the brightness off time, the spectrum average, the spectrum fill. You can enable that or disable it. Same thing with the RDS view. You can disable that. There's just so much that can be done. Now, it also has audio settings, and it's got the filter type. You can change the different filters, filter frequency, the filter high frequency and low frequency, the noise reduction level. Can be adjusted. WFM stereo, you can disable that. Audio settings, you can put the AGC mode. You can put it on manual, and again, there's just so many features with this radio. And looking at this, it doesn't have page numbers on it, but I'm going to say there's probably a good 20 pages to this manual. And it does seem to be put together pretty well, so you should be able to start and use this radio pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop there, because this is basically just a start video for this radio, and I wanted to get this one out there as quick as I could now that I definitely had it, and. It's going to be a learning curve for me, that's for sure. Not having a SDR radio at all, so I'm starting out with this one. So we'll see how this one works out. But I will have some more videos coming up. I will have more segments on VOSR International about this radio, and I will go over head-to-head matchups. I'm going to match it up with the C Crane Skywave SSB2 that I have. I will be plugging antennas into each of them, the same antenna, so you can see how it works, and we'll see how the noise reduction works and how much of a big difference this makes. Now, I'm going to try think that this is going to be very similar to my speaker that is a DSP speaker. And that does work pretty good at cutting down some noise. So I think it is definitely going to be along that line. But from what I hear, it's even so much better. So that's going to do it for this segment, and be looking forward to more segments on this radio. Let us know what you think. You can always send us an email to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or you can head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. Let us know. Do you have one of these radios? Are you thinking about it? Do you have an SDR, and is that one of your favorite radios? Or do you not like these type of radios and prefer the old style? All right, so our last segment here is going to be a guest segment from our listeners in Germany. We've got Bernd and Claudia that are going to be on this segment, and they're going to talk about being a part of their listeners club. And this will be a good time. Like I mentioned before, you can get your translator app. I use 3PO, works really good. Or you can head over to our website or on our Facebook page, VOSRinternational.com or VOSR International on Facebook. I do have the transcript there. You can listen to this. And then also for our listeners in Germany, if your English isn't all that great, 3PO is a very good app to check out. It will translate in many, many languages, and it might be able to help out you enjoy VOSR International more. So go ahead and get that ready, and go ahead and take it away, Claudia and Bernd.
RTI Hörerclub Ottenau.
Liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer von VOSR, Chef hat uns gebeten, einen deutschsprachigen Beitrag für seine Sendung zusammenzustellen. Wir sind Bernd,
Agnes und Claudia vom Radio Taiwan International Hörerclub Ottenau.
Gut zu hören ist das Programm von VOSR am Donnerstag von 18 Uhr bis 19 Uhr UTC auf 3975 und 6160 Kilohertz bei Shortwave Radio.
Mein Name ist Bernd Seiser. Ich bin auch Gründungsmitglied vom RTI Hörerclub Ottenau und wohne in Ottenau im Südwesten von Deutschland. Ottenau liegt etwa 8 Kilometer östlich von Baden-Baden in Baden-Württemberg. Seit über 52 Jahren bin ich aktiver Kurzwellenhörer, besonders von den deutschsprachigen Sendungen aus aller Welt. So entstanden rege Kontakte zu mehreren internationalen Rundfunkstationen und auch zu vielen Kurzwellenhörern. Durch die Teilnahme an den SWLCS-DX-Camps in Illingen und Merchweiler, aber auch durch die von mir seit 1980 jährlich organisierten überregionalen DX-Treffens des SWLCS-Ortsrings Moigtal nach Auflösung des SWLCS, später dann unter der Bezeichnung Kurzwellenhörerclub Moigtal, lernte ich viele Hörerfreunde und auch einige Mitarbeiterinnen und Mitarbeiter internationaler Kurzwellendienste persönlich kennen und zahlreiche Stationen informiere ich durch monatliche Berichte über die Empfangsqualität ihrer Sendungen. So auch die Stimme Indonesiens, die Stimme der Türkei, KBS World Radio und Radio Taiwan International, und wo ich bei RTI-Hörertreffen in Merchweiler und Ottenau auch Bihui persönlich kennenlernen durfte. So geben mir auch die Stimme Indonesiens, KBS World Radio, Radio Slowakei International, die Stimme der Türkei und Radio Taiwan International auch Gelegenheit, sehr oft im Briefkasten meinen Radiofreunden zum Geburtstag gratulieren zu dürfen. Ich bin noch ein Hörer, der die Sendungen mit dem Kurzwellenempfänger verfolgt und zum Internet weniger Bezug hat. In mehreren Hörerclubs deutschsprachiger Auslandsdienste bin ich aktives Mitglied und fertige regelmäßige Empfangsberichte und Monitorberichte an. So war ich auch bis zur Einstellung der deutschsprachigen Sendungen von WYFR Family Radio und China Radio International Monitor deren deutschsprachiger Programme. Auch war ich bis zur Einstellung der Programme oder DX-Clubs Monitor beim Radio Budapest Shortwave Club, Radio Kiew, Radio Portugal, Radio Polonia, Radio Bukarest und Radio Sofia. Ich bin weiterhin aktiver Monitor bei KBS World Radio, Radio Taiwan International und TRT. Bei KBS war ich schon im Jahr 1985 als Monitor tätig und dann seit 2003 bis 2026 durchgängig ohne Unterbrechung. Ich freue mich über jedes Programm, das ich über die Kurzwelle empfangen kann. Ich möchte mit meinen Empfangsberichten und Programmbeiträgen mithelfen, die internationalen, besonders auch die deutschsprachigen Programme auf der Kurzwelle zu unterstützen und zu sichern. Ich freue mich, dass unser RTI-Hörerclub Ottenau am 16. Mai sein 20-jähriges Bestehen im Beisein von RTI-Redaktionsleiterin Bihui feiern konnte und freue mich auf das am 10. Oktober bevorstehende Jubiläum zu 40 Jahre deutschsprachige Kurzwellensendungen aus Taiwan. Jedes Jahr im Sommer gibt es eine mehrtägige Aktion von RTI, die es ermöglicht, die deutschsprachigen Programme von Radio Taiwan International direkt aus Taiwan zu empfangen. Empfangsberichte werden mit einer Sonder-QSL-Karte für die Direktsendungen bestätigt. Gerade für Hobby-Neulinge ist es ein Erlebnis, die Sendung von einem Sender aus Taiwan zu hören. Zur Kurzwelle gefunden habe ich als Fußballfan während der damaligen Weltmeisterschaft 1974 in Deutschland. Ich wollte mehr über die daran teilnehmenden Länder erfahren und habe dann die Stationen der Teilnahmeländer mit deutschsprachigem Programm gehört. Ab 1977 habe ich dann auch begonnen, Empfangsberichte anzufertigen, mit den Redaktionen freundschaftliche Kontakte zu pflegen und QSL-Karten sowie Diplome und Stationsbündel zu sammeln. Stationsbündel wurden in den letzten Jahren zu einer Rarität. 1980 habe ich dann den SWLCS Ortsring gegründet, der nach Auflösung des Kurzwellenhörerclubs SARS, SWLCS, nun die Bezeichnung Kurzwellenhörerclub Moiktal trägt. 45 überregionale DX-Treffen wurden bisher von mir organisiert und beim 25. überregionalen DX-Treffen im Mai 2006 durfte ich auf Wunsch von Radio Taiwan International den RTI-Hörerclub Ottenau gründen. RTI hat Hörerclubs bei verschiedenen Sprachredaktionen und wollte auch 2 Hörerclubs für die deutschsprachige Redaktion. Bisher nahmen in den 45 Jahren über 400 verschiedene Besucher an unseren überregionalen DX-Treffen in Ottenau oder Umgebung teil. Viele Hörer kennen die Namen anderer Hörer von den Hörerpostprogrammen der deutschsprachigen Redaktionen. Deshalb beginnen wir unsere Treffen mit der namentlichen Vorstellung der Besucher. Dadurch kamen schon viele DXer, die sich nur dem Namen nach aus Hörerbriefkästen kannten, in persönlichen Kontakt und entwickelten Freundschaften. Danach folgt ein Rückblick auf das letzte Radiojahr, eine Vorschau auf bevorstehende radiobezogene Aktivitäten in den nächsten Monaten, Fachbeiträge und Referate von Hörern und Redaktionsmitarbeitern, eine Tombola mit Radiosouvenirs und wenn noch Zeit bleibt, ein Stationsquiz. Zu meinen unvergesslichen Erlebnissen zählen auch meine Besuche bei Radio Prag im Mai 1984, bei der Stimme der Türkei im Oktober 2008 und bei der Stimme Indonesiens im September 2014. Das nächste überregionale DX-Treffen findet am Samstag, dem 15. Mai 2027 in der Burgstube in Gaggenau statt. Meine Ausrüstung besteht aus mehreren Empfängern, wie Grundig Satellit 500, Satellit 700, Satellit 2100 und FRG 8800 mit Teleskopantennen sowie zusätzlicher 15 Meter Langdrahtantenne, gespannt vom Wohnhaus bis zum Shop.
Mein Name ist Agnes Rieger, ich wohne in Salzburg in Österreich und bin seit 18. Dezember 2012 Mitglied im RTI-Hörerclub Ottenau. Zur Kurzwelle bin ich gekommen schon in meiner Kindheit. Da ich Fremdsprachen lernen wollte, habe ich verschiedene Sender angehört auf Kurzwelle. Dann später, als ich beim RTI-Hörerclub Ottenau Mitglied wurde, habe ich mitgeholfen bei der Organisation der Skype-Unterhaltung bei RTI-Hörertreffen in Wien. Und während der Corona-Pandemie-Zeit auch haben wir die überregionalen DX-Treffen als Skype-Videounterhaltung organisiert. Ich bin auch Mitwirkende im Hörerclub-Programm von RTI Hörerclub Ecke und RTI DX-Tipps. Meine Lieblingssender sind Radio Taiwan International und Ö1.
Mein Name ist Claudia Buchner. Ich wohne in Fürth in Mittelfranken in Deutschland. Ende der 1980er bis Ende der 1990er Jahre habe ich bereits mit meinem Weltempfänger Siemens RK 641 Kurzwellensendungen verfolgt, unter anderem Radio Moskau, Radio Beijing, Radio Minsk und RSA aus Südafrika. Bei einem Wettbewerb von RSA Südafrika habe ich sogar eine Langspielplatte gewonnen. Ende der 1990er Jahre wurde die Arbeit in unserer Spedition immer mehr und auch mit der Geburt unserer beiden Kinder fehlte mir die Zeit zum Radiohören. Jetzt sind unsere Jungs erwachsen und wir haben den Geschäftsbetrieb unserer Spedition Ende 2022 eingestellt. Deshalb habe ich mich entschlossen, meinen Weltempfänger wieder zu aktivieren und erneut auf Wellenjagd zu gehen. Mittlerweile habe ich mir einen Texun S2000 Weltempfänger mit Loop-Antenne gekauft und meinen Radiobereich in unserem Wintergarten untergebracht. Im Februar 2024 wurde Bernd Seiser durch meine Logbucheinträge im Radiokurier und meine Beiträge bei den verschiedenen Briefkastensendungen auf mich aufmerksam und hat mich kontaktiert. Seit 1. März 2024 bin ich Mitglied im RTI-Hörerclub Ottenau. Im Januar 2025 übernahm ich die Verantwortung als Hörerclub-Sekretärin und kümmere mich auch um die Mitgliederdatei des RTI-Hörerclubs Ottenau. Als Aufnahmeleiterin der RTI DX-Tipps bin ich zuständig für unser Hörerclub-Programm, das auch am ersten Samstag und dem darauffolgenden Sonntag des Monats um 4:30 Uhr, 9:30 Uhr, 14 Uhr, 17 Uhr und 21 Uhr UTC auf 3995 und 5920 Kilohertz bei Radio HCJB ausgestrahlt wird. Seit Januar 2025 bin ich Monitorin bei KBS Südkorea und verfolge die Sendungen mit viel Freude. Neben KBS Südkorea höre ich unter anderem auch regelmäßig Sendungen von Radio Taiwan International, Popshop Radio aus Kanada und die Henry Norman Show unseres Mitglieds Nuri Streichert. In unserem Hörerclub haben wir viele Aktivitäten, die mir sehr gut gefallen. So habe ich mich zum Beispiel beim FIFA-Quiz beteiligt und den 2. Platz belegt.
Damit verbleiben mit freundlichen Grüßen und besten Wünschen Bernd,
Agnes
und Claudia.
So I want to thank Bernd and Claudia for that segment. Bernd had mentioned it a couple of emails ago about trying to have a segment in German. and it is a great suggestion, and this is VOSR International. So if anybody out there wants to try to get a segment in, do it in another language, we'd be happy to do that. And just like Bernd and Claudia did, introduce themselves, their listeners group. There's a lot of things out there, information that can be passed along to everyone that's really interesting. That's one of the really interesting parts about shortwave radio, is that it brings the whole world together and makes it a smaller place. So it's great to have segments like this, and I really appreciate Bernd and Claudia for stepping up and giving us this segment. So thanks again. So tell us what you think. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. And lastly, we'll have a short mailbag this week. First off, we'll start out with Peter from the Netherlands. He reports that he did get his QSL card from the June 18th broadcast, and he did receive that on July 22nd. So that'll give you some idea how long these are taking to get out and get mailed across the world. Next, we have an email from Vashik from the Czech Republic, and he writes, my name is Vashik, and my interest is listening to distance radio stations goes back more than 60 years. I'm 79 years old and still active in the hobby. A couple days ago, I had the pleasure of hearing your station, VOSR International, on 94.55 kilohertz here in Prague. And it was a really enjoyable experience for me. It was a so special occasion, since I am pretty sure this is the first time I managed to hear this station. I hope that you will find my reception report below of some interest. And he writes that he was listening on July 18th on 94.55 kilohertz with an SINPO of 35433. He was using a Win Radio Excalibur Pro, a top quality communications type with a 70-meter long wire. So thank you so much for your communication and for listening, Veshik. Next, we have an email from Thomas in Scotland, and he just wanted to report that he did get his QSL card from VOSR International. Thanks again for listening, Thomas. I have many more emails that I'll get caught up on the next broadcast, but for right now, we'll have to cut the mailbag short here. And don't forget, keep those emails coming in. Send them in to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com, or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way.
Drifting on the blue horizon, where the frequencies ignite, the signal leaves the islands, chasing down the edge of night. 1,000 miles of salt and static, a world within the reach of your dial. From the Pacific to your porch, the voice is calling clear, bridging every ocean just to whisper in your ear. Global conversations that bring the distant near, bring the distant near. We open up the mailbag, every letter, every word, a chorus of the listeners across us, the distances we've heard. Connecting every time zone in a circuit made of glass and air, made of glass and air. The voice of shortwave radio, the signal wants to go. Aloha from the islands, we'll see you down the line.
And that concludes our broadcast. Be sure to catch our broadcasts every Saturday at 0300 UTC on 94.55 kilohertz, and also on Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. Transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, from Okeechobee, Florida.
We are also broadcast by Shortwave Radio Gold in Lower Saxony, Germany, on Thursdays at 1800 UTC on both 3975 kHz and 6160 kHz.